All right, I'm fishing today at one of my favorite leaded culvert spots that's soon going to be very difficult to access. And I'll tell you why as soon as I catch a fish. I need a few more bluegill for my home bait tank. What I'm using here is a tiny circle hook. This is a bait boss hook. It's pretty much a tiny Team Catfish double action circle hook. I do wish I had a smaller one, but this is going to do for now. Instead of a weight, I got a swivel, and then I got a fill bobber. And this is like 6-pound line on here, I think. It's just really simple fishing. And I've got big reds that I'm fishing with. They're really not that big and they're not looking too good. I think I left them in the heat a little bit too long. I always have good luck with big reds versus like, you know, night crawlers. I catch more fish with big reds. Although these are really not looking good. Hope I can catch something with it. Now right here off camera is the culvert that's going under the road, and then on the far side is a beaver dam. The beavers came in here and dammed up this spot, and sometimes you can see them swimming through here. They really don't like to be around when there's humans here. That is also the deepest water over there, and I mean it's only a couple of feet. And I'm already getting bites. I know there's a lot of small fish here. So they're just pecking on the very end of my worm. So I'm going to hook it a little bit better. Just to let you know, I am borrowing a friend's camera to record this with, and I have no idea how this is coming out. What the sound sounds like, what the video's like. So I guess I'll find out when I start editing. See some big sunfish here to the left. That's a big one. A couple of really big ones. There we go. Oh, it's a nice one too. That's a good piece of bait there for flatheads. Beautiful fish. Bluegill, or hybrid. I think some of these are hybridized. Whoa! Look at that. Nice one. Hard to handle, but yeah, that's a good piece of bait right there. Get some water in my Engel cooler. Engel sent this to me, and it works great. Turn on the air pump, which is pretty silent, and rechargeable. See if I can get another one here. Caught it right at the edge of that limb. Whoops. I tried to adjust my bobber and I broke my line. Well, while I try to fix this, I'll tell you guys about the road. The road behind me is a 4-lane highway that goes to pretty much nowhere. It's one of those local road projects that never really got finished. So there's not much traffic on it at all. However, they have gone into overdrive to try to finish it. And from what I'm hearing, the upper part of this road is going to be done by December. And then they're going to focus on connecting that upper part to this part of the road. That means this may be the last time I get a fish at this spot. Or at least the last few times I get a fish at this spot. Now another thing to note about this spot, I'm actually on private property now. This used to be on the zoning map part of the road. It was actually zoned as like, you know, part of the road, state owned or county owned. But then they revised the map, and the people who live, I don't know, about 3 football fields that way actually owns this property. Now, I did talk to them one day, and they gave me permission to fish here. I told them that the map has updated, that this spot that used to be county property is now showing as your property. May I have permission to fish here? And they said sure. Now, I know other people fish this spot, and they probably don't have permission to do so. You would think a culvert like this would be county owned, but it's not. So the moral of the story is always check your maps. Make sure where you're fishing is not private property, and the maps can change. The county will change maps, or at least whatever government that controls the maps will change the maps. Now, another thing I know about this culvert is the other side of it is owned by someone else, and they don't give anybody permission to fish here. However, the kids have created a trail to that side of the culvert on their property. Thankfully, no one lives there. It's like just a square rectangle piece. I don't know why they're keeping it. Maybe they want to build a convenience store or something there someday. But all I know is nobody's allowed to fish there. Nobody's allowed to get on that property. Now, I am seeing a lot of bluegill to the left. I might try to point the camera there in a moment. I'm trying to get these cats on camera for you guys. Uh-oh. And he took it under while I was talking. Still got plenty of worm. Whoops. A lot of people use this road as their public raceway. And you think that's a problem, whenever they get it finished, this thing's going to be an interstate with hundreds of cars. And that's why I won't have access, or really limited access. I'll have to find a new place to park. Let's move the camera towards the sun. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's like a rock pile right here. Water comes in, drainage water comes in here, and I guess they got a rock pile to stop this from silting up. And there's all kinds of bluegill in the shallows, and I see them also on the rocks. Now, if I can get them to bite. Whoops. I dropped that one right on the head of a bluegill. I had a rooster tail or a popping cork. Don't look at the bobber. Look at what's under the bobber. Yeah, they are triggered to topwater. I think I see a couple of bass too. Really small bass. There we go. Not too bad. Maybe I could use this as a thumbnail. give you guys a better look at it. Nice bluegill. And he's hooked in the corner of the mouth. I will say it's also really hot right now. It's in the 90s. I'm hoping to go flathead fishing this evening in the dark. Oh, missed him. Of course, when I go flathead fishing, I'm going to be using cut bait. I tried the other day with a bunch of bluegill and creek chubs, and nothing. Like 6 hours of fishing with live bait, and not a single flathead. Of course, the day before, my buddy borrowed my rods and reels and caught a giant flathead and then held it incorrectly. I definitely need to get him on another big flathead in my boat and show him how to properly hold a flathead. And I will make a video of that too. And a short. I'm going to try to do both. I'll do a short and do it in the video. Perfect. Well, I thought it was perfect. Ah, man. We got enough worm left. Whoop. I think it needs to be a little bit deeper. I don't have it wrapped around the bobber, so the bobber does move. Must be really tiny ones there. Oops. Ah. Getting wrapped up on everything, even my own spinning reel. It definitely is nice just to get out here and fish for bluegill with a bobber. Targeting big fish all the time will just lead to a bunch of skunked videos. And right now the catfish spawn is in full swing. Except for maybe flatheads. Flatheads are last to spawn. So I might have a chance to get a big flathead tonight. Or I might not. Who knows? Still going to give it a try. Oh, man. I just have a tiny piece of bait on this now. Okay, so I forgot that the older Sony mirrorless cameras have a time limit on how long they can record. So I missed catching about 5 or 6 more bluegill on film for you guys. I also missed a bluegill actually breaking my line. I really do need to replace the line on that fishing rod. It's getting old and it's getting easy to break. Even though it is 6-pound line, it's acting like 2-pound line now. So I'm definitely going to have to order some more line for my small Akuma Seamar combos. At least I was able to catch some fish for you guys, which are now in my home bait tank. Someday I will try again to use them as live bait for flatheads. I think I said in this video that I was going to go flathead fishing after it. Well, I did go flathead fishing and we didn't catch anything. That's why they call it fishing and not catching. And my local creek this year has been a lot of bad luck. The biggest thing that I've caught out of that creek was a snapping turtle. Anyway, I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. And as always, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to actually watch this video. I really appreciate it. I really do hope I get these camera issues in the past so I can focus more on fishing. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you next time.